The Flashback Series, that's right. Welcome back, audience, to another episode. I'm Nan, the CSL Trailblazer, where we focus on fluency for students who want to reach that level and for teachers who are looking for ideas to help their students reach that level as well. This time, in the Flashback Series, we are revisiting and repackaging with my collaborator and editor, Picture. Check him out in the description below. Drum and bass extraordinaire, helping me spice up these videos. We're going back to an oldie but a goodie on value for money. Value for money was an episode I made a few years ago, number 44 I believe it was, and here we're re-editing it and sending it out to you so that you can find out the really big cultural difference that is between Poland and English-speaking countries and how we see value, especially when we're shopping. And I share stories a little bit in comparison of Polish ways of treating value and how we treat value in the States and in England. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and this time it's going to be short and sweet thanks to Picture. But before I leave you, as always, here's a quote to get you warmed up that students can get talking about. Teachers, share quotes with your students. It's a great way to spice up the lessons and get them talking. All right, so for today's quote, stress is not what happens to us. It's our response to what happens. And response is something we can choose. That response is the key to overcoming your stress. Thank you for your viewership. Share if you care. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you back here again for the next episode of the Flashback Series, because we're revisiting, repackaging. Here we go. Today, I want to talk about culture, not expressions. It's time to get something else going in these videos, and I thought maybe you'd find this interesting because it's also connected with teaching, but from a different perspective. I just came back from a fantastic weekend visiting my in-laws, and I was treated to a huge cutlet that was absolutely outstanding. And guess what was served with it? It's Poland, baby. I had the potatoes, 3 scoops of mashed potatoes with my cutlet and some biała kapusta. It was out of this world. I ate every single bite of it, and let me tell you, I was full to capacity, but I enjoyed every morsel of that, and I'll tell you more about it right after this message. I want to talk about my weekend with the in-laws, with the Testovia. Like I said, the meal was dynamite, but at the end of the meal, when I was feeling like this, I needed something to wash it down, help the digestion process. And in Poland, when you reach that aspect of the meal, or after the meal, you need something for natrawienie. And I always say to my father-in-law, thank you very much. Dziękuję bardzo. Było bardzo dobre, przepyszne natrawienie teraz, proszę. And he knows what that means. It's vodka time.
I love Poland.
And in Poland, they take great pride in making it themselves. And so I didn't really get a vodka from the shop. I got something called bimber. Fire, but wow, was it good. Homemade bimber, it's moonshine in English, I think. That's another aspect of Polish culture, and I don't get to have it very often, but wow, it was really special. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I guarantee you have the cutlet that I had and those mashed potatoes with that white cabbage, kapusta, you would also be a very, very happy camper. What I want to talk about with culture is that it really shapes language, and it really reflects how we use language and the way we express ourselves. And I think that's very important as teachers, that we need to teach our students all those little intricacies that go with language and culture. And our students sometimes might not be so aware of it because teachers don't take the time to focus on it. They're just giving you vocabulary quizzes and teaching you the grammar and linking words and structure, and that's all. So I just told you about a bit of Polish culture. Something I did this week as a lesson was I talked about value, getting value for money, specifically the expression getting value for money. So it was very interesting because at the start of the lesson, we went a little bit off what I had planned, which is fine, teachers. Remember, you can go off the plan, the lesson plan sometimes. Actually, when that happens, it's some of the best lessons. Students enjoy the most because we got into a big debate about what value for money really means. And for Polish people, value for money means something different, I discovered, than what we Americans, or maybe even English people or Australians as well, what they think of as value for money. So in America, value for money means more. Give me more. Give me more beer. Give me more steak. Give me more burger meat. Give me more toilet paper. More. You give me more for my money, I'm getting value for money, okay? When I was in college and me and my buddies went to buy beers, we had $10 and we used those $10 to get the most beers possible. The beer that we bought was a 30-pack of Milwaukee's. We called it Beast. Let me tell you something. It was terrible beer. Watered down crap. But you know what? We didn't care because we had 30 beers for $10. And now that is value for money. In Poland, they don't equate value with quantity. They equate value with quality. They're thinking value means quality, not quantity. So we got into a debate about this, and it was interesting because it made us realize that in Poland, when you go out to have a beer with your buddies, with a group of friends, everybody orders their own beer. Everybody gets their own individual glass. Whereas in America, when you go and order a beer, the bar usually promotes pitchers. It's a big container with a handle on the side of it. They fill it up, and it's usually got about a beer extra than what you would pay for individually. So you're getting more beer for your money at a better price. The bar is selling more beer, and we get to drink more beer. We get glasses, we share it, then the next person goes up, gets the next pitcher. So that was a nice vocabulary word that came out of that lesson, pitcher. Polish people don't really buy pitchers when they go out drinking. Pitchers are not really served in drinking establishments, all right? So that was a nice vocabulary word that came up. But back to the value, it was interesting because, again, when I go to the supermarket here, as I think American, and when I think American and I look at the prices, I'm looking to get sometimes more than the smaller amount. And if I'm getting more, I'd like a better price. And that doesn't always happen because in Poland, generally speaking, when you want more quantity, it's just the amount more that you want times the price for each unit. And in the States, they're like, you want more? No problem, all right? You want 4 steaks? I'll give you 4 for only $1 more. I'll give you more beer. Of course, the quality's gonna go down, but we don't even think about the quality. We're just like, yeah, that's awesome. Got more steaks, got more beers, barbecue, let's do it, baby. So value for money, but it translates to quality, what we think quality is and what value is. And that brings me right away down to the next thing that I want to talk about, which was the culture we have about value in teaching and learning. Our students might value certain aspects of the lesson more than maybe teachers. And that means that we need to, as teachers, think about a little bit how we're preparing our lessons and remind our students that the value is not only in the new words that we're practicing or the new grammar, but in the communication. Value, we should remind our students at least a few times a semester that when you're practicing the language, try to communicate with your classmate, make eye contact, show interest by asking questions, practice asking the questions by showing that interest, yes? Practice using the vocabulary, interact, and have insightful, worthwhile conversation. Because I tell my students, if you cannot do it in the classroom with your classmates, how are you gonna do it when you travel or when you're out in the real world, or when you're getting a job and you meet your new colleagues? How are you gonna start a conversation and interact and listen to what they have to say and, you know, have a valuable conversation? That is valuable. And teachers, just a reminder, we don't have to always stick to the lesson plan. Students find it valuable when the teacher interacts with them or gets involved in the discussion and the lesson. They want to know more about you. They want to know your opinion. They want to interact with you, okay, more or less. So it's valuable to jump in and join that conversation, that discussion. Get your students' feedback and give them yours. We don't have to be just an authority figure. I hope you found that valuable. There are other tips. I'm going to make some more episodes like this one, okay? We're going to move away from expressions just a little bit. Na zdrowie. I'll be back with more. See ya.